Pay attention to the woman who is standing near the corner, checking her phone after ending a call. Her name is Samantha Josephson, 21 years old. A street camera shows Samantha stepping out of Bird Dog in 5 Points, Columbia, South Carolina. She had been out with friends celebrating her upcoming graduation and her acceptance into law school. She walks to the corner and waits. She keeps her phone in her hand as she looks for the Uber she ordered. A dark sedan slows beside her. Samantha walks toward the car and looks inside. She steps back within seconds and turns away, realizing it is not the Uber she requested. Moments later, a black Chevy Impala appears in the frame. The Impala pulls into the small lot beside her. Samantha walks to the rear passenger door. She opens it. She gets inside. The Impala pulls away from the corner. This is the last time Samantha is ever seen on video, and she has no idea the car she entered is not the Uber she ordered. March 29th, 2019, Columbia, South Carolina, 2 a.m. The woman in the footage is Samantha Josephson, 21 years old. The driver investigators will later identify as Nathaniel Rowland, 24 years old. Samantha was a senior political science major at the University of South Carolina. Her life was lining up exactly as she hoped. Graduation was weeks away. Law school acceptance was already in hand. Friends described her as dependable, responsible, and never late to work. That last detail would matter more than they ever imagined. Earlier that night, Samantha had been out with close friends. They were celebrating her big milestones. She stepped outside to call her ride and spoke briefly with her boyfriend. Her Uber was confirmed and on the way, but she walked in the wrong direction. Instead of turning right to the pickup point, she turned left. Her driver circled several times, then canceled the ride when he couldn't locate her. Samantha didn't notice. She kept waiting. At the same time, the black Chevy Impala had been circling 5 Points repeatedly. Officers later described the behavior as almost like a shark circling in the water. The driver never engaged anyone. He only drove slowly, looped around the block, and watched. As Samantha waited, she approached one car, realized it wasn't hers, and stepped back. Seconds later, the Impala pulled alongside her. She believed it was her ride. She got in. Inside the Impala, the child locks were activated, meaning Samantha could not open the doors or roll down the windows. He has the child locks on, so she cannot open the door. She cannot roll the windows down. They are on and locked. She was trapped. Her friends went home that night thinking she was safe. In the morning, they discovered she hadn't returned. Samantha never missed work, yet her shift began without her. Her phone had stopped tracking hours earlier. Panic spread immediately. They rushed to Bird Dog to request security footage. When they watched the moment Samantha climbed into the wrong car, one friend said their heart dropped to my stomach. They called police immediately. Detectives reviewed the footage and issued a citywide BOLO for a black Chevrolet Impala. One officer said, "We literally were looking for a black Impala citywide." While police searched, new clues emerged. Someone attempted using Samantha's cards at multiple ATMs. Investigators said he attempted to use her debit card or her credit card multiple times, 2 times at a Wells Fargo in Sumter and 9 times at another location. At a Wendy's drive-thru, employees reported seeing a man in a black car with a white sheet covering the headrest and part of the rear seat. That small detail would become crucial. Meanwhile, Samantha's parents drove from New Jersey to South Carolina. As they approached the halfway point, they received a second call from police asking for their ETA. Her father told his wife, "This is not good. This is going to end really bad." While they were driving, devastating news surfaced. 2 hunters in New Zion, a rural town an hour and a half from Columbia, found a woman's body. She was covered in blood, with numerous sharp force wounds. When deputies contacted Columbia police, they requested a still frame of Samantha from the surveillance footage. Her clothing matched. The injuries were extensive. Her parents were told investigators were very confident This is your daughter. Detectives now focused entirely on finding the black Impala and identifying its driver. Officer Jeffrey Kraft began his shift by rewatching the footage of the Impala several times. Then he patrolled the same area. Just a few blocks away from where Samantha vanished around 2:30 a.m., he spotted the vehicle. He initiated a traffic stop.
Who's smoking the marijuana?
I had smoked some earlier, sir, when I was at home.
All right, man, you got to step on out, man.
As Kraft approached, he immediately smelled marijuana. He asked the driver for his license. The driver, Nathaniel Rowland, replied, "No, sir, I don't got a license on me." Kraft responded, "Here's the deal, man. I pulled your car over because it matches a suspect." Seconds later, Rowland sprinted away.
Worker that matches a suspect. Get your hand in your pocket. What are you, crazy? Get over here. Hey, get over here! Go and run! Hey, I'm gonna release the dog!
He radioed for backup. He outran me. He was fast. Meanwhile, Kraft returned to the Impala. A female passenger sat in the front seat. When asked the driver's name, she answered, "Nate." Officers searched the vehicle and immediately found Samantha's pink keychain, her pink iPhone, and her apartment keys. One officer radioed, "I'm finding a girl's cell phone and the girl's keys in the driver's seat." Then they opened the back door. There was blood all over the back seat. An officer leaned in and said, "There's blood all over his car, man." Forensics later discovered a footprint pressed onto the inside of the rear window, Samantha's footprint. Investigators called it her final struggle, her last attempt to escape. Police located Rowland 2 blocks away, hiding. When taken into custody, he claimed to have the flu. During questioning, he denied being in 5 Points. He said he was attending house parties but could not name a single person or location. He denied ever being in New Zion, despite the fact that his parents lived there and Samantha's body had been found less than 2 miles from their home. As forensic teams processed the Impala, they discovered an eviction notice addressed to a woman named Maria Howard. That eviction letter became a turning point. It allowed investigators to locate Howard's residence and uncover what she had seen. When detectives interviewed Howard, she provided critical information. The morning after Samantha disappeared, she picked up Rowland and began driving his car. She testified that she saw him put on rubber gloves and begin wiping down the interior. She noticed that a knife, a multi-tool with 2 blades, had what looked like blood on it. Howard said she asked him why his visor was missing. He told her it had blood on it. She said she repeatedly questioned him, and each time he responded, "Mind your business." Investigators searched Howard's trash and found the knife wrapped in plastic grocery bags. They also found paper towels soaked in blood, wipes, and Rowland's clothes, including a black leather jacket with long scratch marks consistent with fingernails. They recovered everything because the eviction letter had pointed them to her home. The state built a strong forensic case. Samantha's blood was in the back seat, on the headrests, on the knife, and throughout the car. The footprint on the window locked the timeline in place. A witness named Asher Williams, who ran a cell phone repair shop, testified that a man attempted to sell him Samantha's phone the next morning. In court, he pointed directly at Rowland. During trial, the defense argued, 0. That's the amount of DNA on Samantha Josephson's body that matches Nathaniel Rowland. They insisted this proved someone else committed the murder, but prosecutors countered with the overwhelming evidence. They held up the knife and said Samantha Josephson's blood was on the blade of this weapon. They showed her footprint on the window and repeated the testimony. This was her cry for help. The solicitor reminded jurors of the brutality and said, she left her own trail of evidence leading right to the defendant. After just 1 hour and 7 minutes, the jury returned with their verdict. Guilty of murder, guilty of kidnapping, guilty of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Samantha's parents and sister gave emotional victim impact statements. Her sister said, No time to say goodbye. Her mother said, "My world is now incomplete." Her father said, "Nothing will replace her." When Roland was given a chance to speak, he said only, "I know I'm innocent, but I guess what I know doesn't matter." The judge replied, "You are a heartless person without remorse." He sentenced Roland to life in prison. After the case, the Josephson family created the What's My Name Foundation, teaching riders to verify their driver before entering a vehicle. Their message is simple: what's my name? They hope Samantha's legacy saves future lives. Thanks for watching Undocumented. Every case shown here is based on real events, though sometimes reenactments are used when original footage is not available. The message is real. Stay aware. Be careful. Subscribe and hit the like button for more undocumented crimes like this.